Cohen alongside Kevin Dukovic. You join us midway through the first quarter with 4:06 left in the first quarter. Girls high school basketball. The score is tied. The visiting Lynbrook Vikings 2, the home Palo Vikings 22. As we speak, Charlotte Alapate of the Palo Vikings is preparing to take her free throws. First one's no good. Now, we've got two pretty good teams here today. The Lynbrook Vikings are the top of the De Anza League. And the Pali girls had a good start, but lost a couple down the stretch and now sit in about the middle of the pack in the league. Josie Butler down low, and she's fouled.
Yeah, Ethan, the Vikes have lost 2 straight. Last Friday, they lost by 18 to Gunn High School. And just this week at Saratoga, they fell 53 to 46. So yeah, they're trying to rebound tonight against a very good Lynbrook team.
And Josie Butler with the air ball, picked up by number 6 of Lynbrook. No, I'm sorry, number 5 of Lynbrook. That would be Emily Fong. And there's another 2 for Lynbrook, up to 4-2. Number 22, Maddie Atwater takes down the court. Coco Lovely, another young part of this Pali squad, on the dribble. And Lovely's out of bounds. Ball goes to Lynbrook. Inbounding for Lynbrook. Number 42 takes up the court. Down to number 21, Paige Song. It's down low to Emily Fong with the miss and the foul.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Ethan, this Pali Vikings team is a very young, inexperienced squad. They start 2 freshmen and 1 sophomore, so 3 underclassmen. And let's see how they fare tonight.
Lovely on the dribble. Driving. Some pretty tight defense there by Dolly Yuan. Alipati takes the long 3, and it's good.
Wow. That is a high difficulty shot right there with the shot clock winding down, but Alapate manages to sink it. And the score is 5-4 Pali here with just over 2 minutes remaining, as we have a backcourt violation against Lynbrook, and it will be Pali ball.
Now coming in for the Pali Vikings, we'll have number 33, Annie Cisco, and number 4, Siggy Benson, excuse me. Siggy's another young part of this Pali team, isn't she?
Yep, she's a freshman.
Atwater inbounds to Cisco. Back to Atwater. Comes to the near side. Ouch. To Alexis Harris. Atwater drives and rims it out. Lynbrook comes down with the rebound. Jackie Huda-Po drives down court and is fouled. Lynbrook will maintain possession.
So Ethan, this Lynbrook team overall has a record of 17-3, and they're 7-1 in league. They sit atop the De Anza League standings, and Palo Alto 8-10 overall. They are 4th in De Anza League standings with a record of 4-3, in league play.
Dolly Yuan, shot is no good. Back out to Emily Fong. She's going to hold it at the top there. Out to Jackie Huda-Po. Huda-Po shoots off the rim, rebounded by Lynbrook, number 42. That's Yuan. I believe that was Paige Song with the basket. Now coming down court, number 22, Maddie Atwater. Waters got tight defense on her. Looking for a place to go. Down low to Cisco. Cisco puts it up, and it's no good. Harris with the rebound. Gets her own rebound. That's 4. Can't get it.
Oh, wow.
It's finally fouled. It'll be Lynbrook's ball.
Great effort there by number 24 on the Vikings, Alexis Harris. Another young player, a sophomore. But even after her 3rd or 4th rebound, she couldn't put it in. So it's Lynbrook ball out of bounds here with just under 50 seconds remaining in the first quarter, with Lynbrook holding the slim 6-5 advantage.
Score is Lynbrook up 6-5. Have the ball.
The shot clock is winding down here.
3, 2, and the shot is off, and it's good.
Wow.
Right at the shot clock buzzer.
Let's see what Palo does here with 10 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Atwater brings it down, out to Alipate. Alipate takes a long 3. Oh, she had the first one, but she couldn't get that one. And Lynbrook has the ball. That's Yuan going down, heaves up, the desperation shot, and it's no good. At the end of 1 then, it is Lynbrook 8, Palo 5.
We apologize for the dilatory start here. My name is Kevin Dukovic. I'm alongside Ethan Cohen here, courtside. And this is the front end of our basketball MC Sports doubleheader with the Palo Alto Vikings hosting the visiting Lynbrook Vikings here tonight. Lynbrook, as we mentioned earlier, has an impressive record of 17-3 and only has 1 blemish in their league record, with a 7-1 league record. And Palo, coming off of 2 losses in the last week, is 8-10 and 4-3 in league. And this is an important league game for the Palo Vikes. I'll do play-by-play this quarter.
Okay. Can you hold on to it for a second?
Yeah. There's, as you can see, Palo coach Scott Peters talking to his players. Peters has been the longtime coach for the Vikings. And he's dealt with his team having various injuries this season. They've lost 2 key players to ACL injuries and a couple others for various reasons. So here we go, start of the second quarter. Lynbrook has the ball here. They find number 21, Paige Song, for the bucket. Now Palo's Coco Lovely will bring the ball up the court for Butler with the ball up top. To Lovely on the wing. Lovely makes a move, and it's corralled by Alipate. But a traveling violation has been called on Palo. And a timeout is called by Peters on the floor with 7:20 to go here in the first half. The score is Lynbrook 10 and Palo 5. As we take a look at the Lynbrook huddle, and Lynbrook coach Cynthia Ting in the white there on the right. So here we go. Lynbrook will inbound under their own basket here. And number 42, Dolly Wan, will take the ball up for Lynbrook. Inside to number 21, Paige Song, who once again finds the bottom of the net with that nice bank shot. Butler to Lovely. Nothing doing here for the Vikes on offense. Susko with just under 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. And Atwater misses there. And looks like we got a jump ball here. And it'll stay with the Vikes. So the shot clock has reset. It's now at 27 seconds after Atwater's 3 bounced off the rim. And Susko launches a 3, comes up a little short. Alapate with a nice offensive board. And it is now 12-7 Lynbrook. There's a board by Susko, who passes it ahead to Lovely. Susko settles for the jump shot and nails it. 12-9 Lynbrook. As Pally is making a comeback here. Looks like an offensive foul called on Lynbrook. It'll be Pally ball. As Ethan rejoins me here in courtside.
Pally's trying to get back in this. They were down 5.
Yeah, a couple straight buckets here. Oh, nice pass by Atwater to Susko, who finds Alapate for the 3.
And that's Alapate. That's her second deep 3. 2 of 3 now from downtown.
And the score is knotted up at 12 here. Oh, nice lefty put in by number 22, Sarah Dyslin.
Pally, they're really letting them get into the lane. Not much defense down low there. They have to work on that.
Butler draws the foul there. She'll go to the line for 2. Susie, that was number 25, Renee Huang, for Lynbrook on that bucket. So, Ethan, we've got a nice doubleheader tonight. And this is the first of 2 games that our MC Sports team will cover as Butler misses her first of 2 free throws. The second game will boast the Palo Alto High School boys varsity team against the visiting Homestead Mustangs, which is as Butler misses the second free throw. That should be a pretty good game, and we'll talk about that one later.
Yeah, the Homestead's always dangerous. They're sitting about in the middle of league play, but just because, as we're seeing here, just because you're leading your league doesn't mean that you're not prone to a scare.
Yeah, and Pally, the boys team, is missing a couple starters. 2 of their starters, one of which is sick, and the other is actually at the Super Bowl in New Orleans in Keller Christ. So yeah, that might make that game that much more interesting. But right here, as a timeout has been called on the floor, the Vikings trail, or the Pally Vikings, I should clarify, as both these teams have the mascot, the Viking. The Palo Alto High School Vikings trail by 2 points here, 14-2 Lynbrook, with about 4:43 to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think this game, going into this game, I don't think really anyone expected it to be this close, especially considering the way the Vikings played against Gunn a couple weeks ago. It was not a strong showing, and then the loss to Saratoga. But seems like they've really come in here. They've played some tough basketball, and they're only down 2 now, about halfway through the second quarter. So,
yeah, I was also interested in seeing how this team would respond to those 2 tough losses, especially to the crosstown rival Gunn. last Friday in a game that MC Sports covered. So far, so good for the Pali Vikes as Susko launches a long three, but to no avail.
You have to wonder if that shot is part of their game plan.
Yeah,
tonight,
Pali's been taking as a traveling violation is called on Lynbrook. A great deal of 3-point shots tonight. Yeah, I'm not sure if Peters had that in the game plan going in, but so far so good for the Vikes. Couple have fallen here courtesy of Alapate, and they're hanging in this one.
I expect we'll see a lot more shooting from Ziggy Benson too, Winston.
Yeah.
Especially at the start of the year, she was really hot there, especially from long range. So
There's
we'll see.
3-on-1, and that bucket Lynbrook, and right back to the other end. Butler misses a layup, and just like that, the pace is picked up here. Oh, and that looks like a carry has been called on Lynbrook, and Pali will take over with the score 16-12, Lynbrook. Atwater will take the ball up for the Vikings. And she finds number 4, Siggy Bankston. Bankston deflects that one to Harris, who finds Butler. With just 5 seconds remaining in the shot clock, a foul is called. And I believe it's on the floor. Yes. So they will inbound with a reset shot clock. 30 seconds in the shot clock.
And that's definitely a good sign for Pali. The shot clock's getting pretty low there. Now the time to reset.
Yep. Oh, an aggressive drive there by Lovely, but it rattles out. And number 42, Dolly Wan, taking the ball up. Now number 14 for Lynbrook, Huda Pole. Back to Young. And it looks like we have another jump ball here. And the possession arrow will give it to Lynbrook.
And we'll see how this game shapes up. The drive from Lovely was unique. We hadn't seen much of that. It'd been a lot of shooting for Pali, so we'll see if that's indicating something or whether Lovely just found a hole.
Ooh, and Susko couldn't quite corral that rebound, knocking it out of bounds. Ball will stay here with Lynbrook. Yeah, that's right, Ethan. Last week when we covered the Pali Gun girls game, the Vikings could get nothing going offensively. They couldn't handle the full court press that the Titans had put on as a foul is called on Butler, and weren't really able to run any half-court sets that game. This time, Lynbrook isn't employing the pressure that the Titans did, and it looks like the Vikings are able to and are getting to some of their half-court sets.
Some good defense there by Atwater going over cover the uncovered man. That's what they're going to have to do if they want to stop this really potent Lynbrook team.
You see Butler headed to the bench, and Alexis Harris has replaced her for the Vikings. Atwater with the drive. Gets a shot blocked twice there. And another jump ball is called. This time the ball will stay with the Vikings, the Pali Vikings.
It really seems just from the visual glance here that Lynbrook's got a little bit more size on the Vikings.
Yeah, it appears so, and that might explain why Peters is having his players shoot more balls, outside of the paint. But Butler and Alapate can hold their ground there in the painted area as Lynbrook corrals a rebound and a foul is called on Pali. That is Pali's 5th team foul, or 6th team foul, excuse me. Juan will take the ball up. We apologize for the, as number 22, Sarah Dyslin, puts that in. And oh, there's a steal here. Lynbrook with the ball again.
And really, those are the kind of mistakes that that the Vikings really, the Palo Vikings, excuse me, really can't afford to make in this game.
Yeah, turnovers are killer. As Susko pulls up for three, and a little strong there. Alapate with the nice offensive board. And the Vikings have a fresh 30.
I think it is important to see that the amount of space she had, and I think that might.
Wow, very strong move by the freshman Atwater. The score now is 18-14. Lynbrook with a minute remaining in the first half.
And of course, Maddie Alwan, I'm sure we'll talk about this more later, already has a pretty big persona here at Palo. She made 2 free throws after time expired to beat Wilcox in a very tight game.
There's a travel called on Lynbrook, and Palo's going to have a chance to pull within 1 possession here with 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Yeah, Atwater, a freshman, as you said, has really stepped up big for the Vikings this year, and you know, has a bright future. Here's Coco Lovely to Susko.
I think that they're going to want to try and get the ball to Atwater or Alapate, try and take a 3.
Oh, here's that.
There's Harris with a shot.
20 seconds to go here in the first half. Lynbrook up 18-14. Looks like Lynbrook will hold it for one last shot. And a foul is called. And looks like that's the 7th foul on the Vikings. And Lynbrook will be shooting, 1 and 1. So here is number 14, Jackie Huttapool for Lynbrook.
That was a pretty good decision by Lynbrook there to take it slow.
She misses the front end. There's 5 seconds to go, and the Vikings are going to have to hurry here if they want to get a shot off. And Lovely does, but it was a little rushed. And the first half ends with the Vikings, the Lynbrook Vikings, up 18-14 over the Palo Alto High School Vikings here on the front end of our MC Sports doubleheader.
And yeah, here from Palo Alto High School, it is 18-14 Lynbrook Vikings on top of the Palo Vikings in, as Kevin said, the first part of our doubleheader. We apologize for technical difficulties there in the first half, but we will return you shortly with Ethan Cohen and Kevin Dukovic from Palo Alto High School, where at the end of the first half, it is Lynbrook Vikings 18, Palo Alto Vikings 14. Stay tuned.
All right, ready to go?
And we welcome you back to Palo Alto High School. This is Media Center Sports. I'm Ethan Cohen alongside Kevin Dukovic. Just for the second half of this De Anza League action. We've got the Palo Alto Vikings and the Lynbrook Vikings. Lynbrook is up 18-14 at the start of the second half.
That's right, Ethan. Lynbrook with a record of 17-3, having won their 9 of their last 10 games. You know, it appeared that this would be a walk in the park for Lynbrook, but Palo, with an overall record of 8-10 and a 4-3 record in league, has held its ground tonight. And as we start the third quarter, only down 4 points. I'm sure if you asked Scott Peters before the game if his team would be in this position at halftime, he'd say, I'd be very satisfied. So here we go. Lynbrook will start. They'll inbound the ball right to the right of us. We are courtside here. This would be Susko playing some defense.
That is Yuan bringing the ball down court. Swings it out. Back to Yuan.
That was a
Gives
nice
up the shot and
skip
drives.
pass there. An effective
And a foul.
switching of the ball to the the opposite wing that gave number 42 Juan a nice driving lane as she's at the line here. She
will take her 2 free throws. Neither team has shot very well from the line today. Annie Cisco had 2 big misses at the end of the half, which would have closed it up a little bit, and Yuan there can't convert. So Palo get the ball back. Cisco to Maddie Atwater. We'll bring it down from the point. Out to Cisco, who shoots, and her 3 is no good.
Cisco, Pally's best 3-point shooter, always gets 3 or 4 threes a game. They don't always fall, but she'll shoot. She'll take a lot. As Butler corrals the rebound and passes it forward to Lovely.
Based on what we just saw, how important do you think rebounds in the battle down low with Butler and Alapate against these big, imposing Lynbrook players is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. Yeah, as you said, it looks like Lynbrook has the height advantage, but you know, rebounding, and as Lovely sinks her first of 2 free throws, rebounding and defense, probably the most important part of the Vikings, the Pally Vikings' chances here.
There's Coco Lovely, drains the second one, brings the Vikings to within 2, just down 18-16. And we really cannot stress enough how surprising this is, given the dominance of Lynbrook over the last 10 games, and Pally struggles in recent league play. But there, Alipate with the rebound.
Yeah, Pally is really out-muscling Lynbrook down low. They're winning the battles on these, on the glass. And if they can continue doing that, you know, they'll have a shot at winning this thing.
There's Cisco. And her pass is knocked out of bounds by Lynbrook. It'll be Pally ball.
There are 11 seconds to go here on the shot clock. So Pally's going to have to, as you see, Coach Scott Peters, he's going to have to draw up something relatively quick here if the Vikings want to get off a quality shot.
Out to Butler. Back to Cisco. Looks like she's going to take the shot. Swings it out to Alipate. Takes a long 3. No good, but it's off the rim, and they'll get a new clock.
Oh.
Alipate with the rebound. Back down.
Wow.
And she gets the layup.
A nice little Euro step there by Alipate. Steps right by the Lynbrook defender with a very agile move for the post player to tie the game up at 18 here. Oh, it's the Vikings are trapping. There's the trap.
And that basket from Hudapo. She's had a pretty good game so far.
Oh, a great job by her to break the double team and to sink the shot.
And here's Cisco. Out to Atwater. Back to Cisco. She's looking for something. Underneath the Butler. To Alipate. Let's see if she can get another one. And she can't.
There's a lot of contact
there.
there.
Coco, lovely. Going up.
Another offensive board for the Vikings. Those have been, oh, what was the call there?
Out of bounds.
Out of
so
bounds?
we out of bounds on the Pally Vikings.
Okay.
And the Lynbrook Vikings will take it up the court. With Yuan. She's driving. She just had a huge hole there.
Yeah, poor defense
what
there by
happened
Pally. There was no rotation. No, the person, you know, who was supposed to be helping down low did not for Pally, and that resulted in an easy layup for Lynbrook.
And we've seen a couple of those so far tonight. I think that if they're going to want to upset this Lynbrook team, they're really going to have to cut down on those mistakes.
Yeah, they're going to have to be very sound defensively.
Here's Hudapo. Down. The shot from Song is no good. And Atwater will take the ball back down the court. Down low to Butler in the post, and she gets it.
Butler did a great job, Ethan, of running in transition and sealing her defender in the middle of the paint, and allowing Atwater to find her for a quick bucket.
Song on the miss.
Loose ball.
Goes back out to Dislin, who will lose it, and Atwater brings it back down the court.
And she'll pull it out very intelligently with her team not having numbers on that transition.
Out to Cisco, twists to Butler, back down to Cisco. Out to Harris, swings it around. Great ball movement here from the Pali Vikings.
Exactly right. Oh.
And that pass just gets undercut by Dislin. And again, led by Yuan down court, the Lynbrooks will get their half-court set. What about, can you tell me a little bit about that ball movement by the Vikings on that last possession?
Yeah, I mean, that looked really good. They're playing pretty small out there. Butler would be their one out. She gets a nice block, but it's called a foul. But yeah, the ball movement can tire out the defense and can create open looks for Pali, which they could use right now, down a bucket here with 3 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lynbrook at the line.
Here's number 2, Sarah Dislin. 6-foot center.
As we have a couple substitutes here for the Vikings. Number 4, Benston, and number 10, Alapate back into the game for Butler and Susko.
Dyson misses the second. Alapate in the rebound, and Coco Lovely.
It's 23-20 Lynbrook here with just over 3 minutes to go as Alapate with a strong drive to the rack gets fouled and she'll head to the line. Alapate has been very aggressive today, Ethan, getting the start. Usually she comes off the bench, and as we have a timeout called, she's been, relentless on both, offensively and defensively, getting offensive rebounds, taking the ball to the hoop and drawing fouls, heading to the free throw line. And she even hit a couple threes in the first quarter.
Yeah, we
so
saw.
She's been doing a lot here for the Vikes.
Yeah, early in this game, we saw her pull up and take just 2 really long, or three, I think, really long 2-point or 3-point shots.
As we take a look at a replay here.
Doesn't look like we have that for you.
Not of a replay. We are looking at the Lynbrook huddle as all the players are listening to head coach Cynthia Ting, there we go, of Lynbrook, of the 17-3 Lynbrook Vikings, who as it stands right now are in jeopardy of dropping a game to the unlikely victors potentially of Palo Alto.
And you've played a lot of basketball. You played on this Pali varsity team for a couple years. How does it feel when you, like Lynbrook is right now, you've come into a game, you aren't really expecting it to be a challenge, and then all of a sudden that team comes out and plays you really tight. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's tough. If you're a strong team and, obviously as Alapate shoots her second free throw and makes it, if you are a really strong team like Lynbrook is, as we take a look at a replay of Alapate's strong drive that resulted in her free throws. If you are a strong team like Lynbrook is, you're going to get your best play from your opponents every week and every game. And that's what Pali's doing tonight. And yeah, it's if you're Lynbrook, you just got to stay strong and keep doing what's been working this entire season and not panic. As it stands right now, 23-21 Lynbrook. It's a close game, but it's not over yet, that's for sure.
Emily Fong with the miss. Dyslin gets the rebound and the bucket.
And that's killer if you're the Pali Vikings. Offensive boards are going to kill in this game, and they need to continue to box out and corral those boards.
And again, though, right now Pali playing without their big rebounder, Butler, there. And that's Alexis Harris with the bucket. Answering.
That was a difficult shot with the Lynbrook defender in her face. But she knocked it down, and it's 23-25 Lynbrook.
Who to pull? Harris with the rebound.
Harris did a great job of catching that board and quickly throwing it to Atwater, but it appears that Peters wants her girls to slow it down a little here and run through a play.
Waterloo gets it down to Alapate. Loses it for a second, but gets it back. Atwater releases the three and makes it.
Wow, with the shot clock winding down too.
That's Pally's first lead, I believe, of the night.
It is.
At least in a long while.
26-25 Pally here, and an unlikely score with just a minute and 30 left in the third quarter here. And as
there's
Lynbrook
Paige
answers.
Song with the bucket. Put Lynbrook back on top. Maddie Atwater brings it down the court. Cook-a-Lovely. Atwater, the freshman, has really been on top of this offense all night.
Yeah, she's been Pally's go-to scorer pretty much all season as a freshman, as we mentioned before. As Benston can, barely get that pass off to Harris, who comes up short. But
Atwater with the rebound. She
Wow.
goes up and she gets the bucket.
Unbelievable. Your freshman point guard somehow gets a board surrounded by these tall, lengthy Lynbrook players. As Harris, is called for the foul. Could have easily been called a jump ball, but that'll be the fourth team foul on the Vikings, the Pally Vikings. And number 22, Dyslin, will head to the line for 2 shots.
She made one earlier.
Yeah, these are big free throws.
Here's to tie it, and it's just breaks off the front of the ring. And 2, Maddie Atwater, with just really being the floor general, if I may.
Yeah.
Tonight, she's been calling out the calls and orchestrating the half-court sets, and it's been pretty effective so far tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. And she's doing it in all facets of the game as well. We saw that offensive board. Obviously, she's running the offense, and as you said, orchestrating things. But also, we saw her hit that 3, and she's playing solid defense. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pally went back to Atwater here late in the third and into the fourth quarter.
Alpate's got it down low, and she makes a move.
That was a nice post move, but looks like, out of bounds. Lynbrook ball.
With 24.4 seconds left here.
Yeah, it's all knotted up at 28.
Yuan's going to take it down. Try and get the last shot. That ball moving across the floor.
Pally.
Udapoy had a big first half, but she doesn't take the shot. She's been pretty quiet lately. Down to Dyslin. She had some space there, but couldn't get it. Here comes Atwater. 1 second left. And the desperation heave is no good. So, at the end of 3, a shocking tie game. Palo Alto Vikings 28 and the league-leading Lynbrook Vikings 28. Big fourth quarter coming up.
Yeah, shocking is a great word to describe this one, Ethan. As we take a look at a replay here. Harris's shot came up short, and then, as we mentioned, Atwater with that effort over a player that has at least a foot of height on her.
Yeah, that's Jackie Udapoy's 5'11".
Yeah, I mean,
and Maddie Atwater's 5'6", so that's 5 inches.
Effectively using her body to shield the taller defender. Very smart play there by Atwater. As the fourth quarter is set to begin in a matter of seconds. So yeah, this has been a surprising, games thus far, and Pally is definitely putting the pressure on Lynbrook down the stretch here, and we'll see how the fourth and final quarter unfolds here on MC Sports. This is the first of 2 games that we will be covering tonight. Next is the Pally boys versus the Homestead Mustangs. But first, the fourth quarter here of a very close and exciting game featuring the Palo Vikings. As Atwater finds Alapate, who comes up a little short.
And the Vikings have been here before in that Wilcox game, very close at the end of 3, and they were able to.
Yeah,
really
Palo has won a couple very close games, as you said. Yeah, 2 in a row. As I take a look at their schedule, and Lynbrook
really sped up the pace there. They were really trying to move around
the putback
on the court.
Palo 2 weeks ago defeated Wilcox, a team with an outstanding record, by 1 point, 43-42 in a nail-biter. That was the one that we touched on earlier, where Atwater hit 2 free throws as after time had expired to clinch the Vikings' victory. And then the following game, they beat Los Gatos by the same margin, by 1 point, 37-36. So the Vikings do feel comfortable in these close games, and this very well could come down to the last possession here at Palo Alto High School.
That's really the way it's been looking all night. Both of these teams, no one's had a lead of more than. Lynbrook was up by 5 in the second quarter,
yeah,
but
correct.
No one. Palo came back, and now here though,
number 14, Hudapol, took advantage of her size and shot one over Atwater, and effectively used the glass there. And yeah, I mean, Lynbrook here is, stretching their lead here to 4. Palo's going to have to answer.
Yeah, again, Hudapol, she had a big first half and then kind of cooled off in the third quarter, but it looks like they're trying to get her back involved in this game.
Juan to handle the ball here with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. She finds number 21, Paige Song, who finds Hudapol for the 3, and she comes up short, but grabs her own rebound and puts it in. Count the foul, or count the bucket. She will go to the line for 1 and try to complete a 3-point play. Wow, strong move there by Hudapol.
Coach Scott Peters really got to be a little concerned right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's a replay of Hudapol with their own rebound and the basket. Meanwhile, she makes her free throw, stretching the lead now to 7. This is the biggest lead of the game, and the Palo Vikings, an important thing to keep in mind, the Palo Vikings have 6 fouls now, so they have to be very careful not to foul.
As a foul is called on a Lynbrook defender, and it looks as if Palo will take the ball out underneath. So yeah, the Palo Vikings are going to have to get something going here, Ethan, if they want to stay in this game. We were just discussing how close it was, and in a matter of a minute, Lynbrook has gone on a 7-0 run here as lovely.
Oh, and lovely shot goes in and out.
In and out there. And yeah, the Vikings are going to have to get something going here.
The Palo Vikings, that is.
That is true. Sorry, it's both teams, as we mentioned before, are the Vikings. Looks like a foul is called on Palo. And that'll be the 7th foul. So Lynbrook will be shooting, but not before a timeout has been called on the floor.
Scott Peters, he's really got to be concerned about this. The Lynbrook really started to pick up the pace on the offensive end, and Palo just has not seemed ready for it. They've had some defensive breakdowns, and we'll see if they can recover. I think
maybe that was not the 7th foul. They might be taking the ball out of bounds. But yeah, as we said before, a lot of pressure was being applied on Lynbrook, coming in as the favorite in this game, But it seems as if Lynbrook has started to get things going, you know, started to run through their offense effectively. And as it stands right now, hold a rather comfortable lead here in the fourth quarter. Board out to Lovely, who will take on 2 defenders and lay it in.
What
Wow.
a move. What a move by the freshman Coco Lovely.
Yeah, the sophomore, actually, Ethan.
Oh, I'm sorry,
with
sophomore.
a very aggressive play. And, wow, it's, you know.
No, the freshman Coco
Yep,
Lovely.
she's a freshman.
The freshman Coco Lovely.
I stand incorrect.
And that now they've started to get some rebounds on the defensive side. They really can't let Lynbrook get any second chances here. Down 5 with 4:14 left in this game.
Lynbrook will very intelligently slow the pace of the game down. Up 5 points here. No rush here for Lynbrook. As Juan is double teamed and the ball is stolen by Atwater.
Atwater with some great instincts there to
but she
read
loses
that
the ball and ties it up with a Lynbrook defender, and a jump ball has been called. Possession will go to Lynbrook.
And here
to Pally.
we have a replay of Coco Lovely's beautiful move there. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, so quick out of, looks like a different play here with the Vikings on D. But
Apologize for that. But here we have Lynbrook taking the ball back down the court.
oh, that was a great look there for Lynbrook and number 22, Dyceland. But it bounced off the rim, and Pally's got the ball here down 5 as Susko's fouled.
And a great job again getting those defensive rebounds. They've really got to make sure that they're not, Palo needs to make sure that they're not giving Lynbrook any second chances and that they're scoring the ball once they get it back.
Yeah, you can't give away any possessions here. This is crunch time as Susko looks for a teammate to pass the ball. And Harris here doing the same. Takes a dribble, pulls up, comes up a little short.
And they've really got to get those offensive rebounds if they have a chance. Every time Lynbrook's getting it, they're taking about 15 seconds off the clock, and that's going to start to become an issue.
Peters might have to consider applying maybe a little bit more pressure on the defensive end. We'll try to force a couple more turnovers as number 11, Annie Chang of Lynbrook, puts in the bucket to extend Lynbrook's lead to 7 here with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Atwater working and takes another couple Lynbrook defenders to the basket for 2. Wow.
What a move. She and Coco Lovely are both so much smaller than these Lynbrook defenders.
I'll tell you, she's something special as a freshman here, leading her team down the stretch. Very impressive. Oh, as the ball is rebounded by Susko, and Bengston will take it down the left side of the court.
We haven't seen a lot from the sharpshooters at Bengston tonight.
Yeah, as a timeout is called by Peters, with the Vikes, the Pally Vikes that is, down 5 points, 37-32, with 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Vikings, Pally Vikings that is, are doing their best to try to claw themselves back into this one. It was tied going into the fourth, 28 all, as Peters draws up a play on his whiteboard there. And, you know, Lynbrook jumped out to a quick 7-0 run there at the start of the fourth. And, you know, they were looking like their record indicates as we look at a quick replay here. Here's Atwater who with a nice spin move takes it to the rack.
Just finding that hole.
Yeah.
Up against the much bigger Dyson.
Yeah.
There, the Lynbrook center.
Very precocious play by the freshman.
And this game is not over yet. Wise man once said the game is won or lost in the last 2 minutes. Got to test that.
As a foul is called, much to the chagrin of number 5, Emily Fong. And that'll be the 5th team foul, so it'll take another couple fouls for the Vikings to be shooting. Oh, wow.
And Alapate with the great move underneath. She's had a couple great post moves, and she drained the 2-3.
Yeah.
She's really been very versatile tonight.
Atwater surprisingly could find Alapate right underneath the basket, which is one of the first places coaches have their defense defend against when their opposing team is inbounding the ball. As Fong misses the shot, misses the shot, and the Vikings will take over. Pali Vikings down 3, so this game is very close here. One possession ball game with 1:30 to go in the contest. And this is sure to be a great finish as Atwater takes the ball up for Pali.
That was some great defense there by Pali, not giving up anything inside, really playing physical defense.
Yep, they needed to stop and they got one. And here's Atwater to Lovely. Freshman to freshman here. We pass it to Alapate. With 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, to Butler with 5 to go, 4. And she throws it away. A very, very costly turnover there, Ethan. And the Vikings are going to have to get a stop here. Down 3 with 1 minute to go in the game.
And you can see the Pali's not pressing really at all against Lynbrook. Part of that, I'm sure, has to do with the fouls.
Yeah.
That they really can't afford to foul and let Lynbrook build up any more of a lead, at least not yet.
You might want to, even consider it at one point. If you can, foul a free throw shooter who's maybe not the best at the line as a 3 is taken. Wow, and that almost sealed it. And second offensive rebound. You can't afford this if you're Pali to give Lynbrook 2 more cracks at it.
And there's now just a 4-second differential between the shot and Cisco passed the foul there.
So that will be their 17th foul, sending the Lynbrook player number 14, Hudapol, to the line. So these are huge free throws here. 1 and 1 for Lynbrook with 25 seconds to go. Pali down 3. If she makes this, Lynbrook will take a 2-possession lead. And that's a crucial free throw right there, Ethan.
Yeah, and really what led to this was that just poor rebounding by the Pali Vikings.
Yeah.
They had a miss and they couldn't come down with it, and then another miss which they couldn't come down with. And
beautiful. Solid. So now it's a 5-point game. Atwater will take it up. The Vikings still have a shot.
The shot clock
launches, but she'll come up short. And the Vikings are going to have to foul.
They're just trying to play keep away now.
They can't even foul. They can't get to the players.
Atwater's trying to foul.
With just 6 seconds to go. Wow.
Just great play by Lynbrook there. Just playing keep away with the ball.
Yeah.
Burned two-thirds of the clock off before the and Atwater. I'm sure there was a little maturity there from Maddie Atwater, trying to chase the ball around a little too much, not staying disciplined on her man, but that you talk about what makes great teams, and it's things like that, the coaching, what to do in that situation, how to play keep away, and
little things.
And maybe those 12 seconds will be the difference between this game.
Another 1 and 1 there, and Udapol again. She's not the one you want to foul if you're Pali here, but they had to foul someone with 6.4 to go here, down 6 points, and Udapol with her second free throw comes up short. Butler to Lovely, and the clock will run out, and the buzzer will sound here at Palo Alto High School as the Lynbrook Vikings have defeated the Palo Alto High School Vikings 40-34 here. We're MC Sports. Our first of 2 games has just finished here, and we will bring you the second game between the Vikings of Palo Alto and the boys varsity team of Homestead. That should be another great game coming up next.
Yeah, and just to close out this game, I think Palo played extremely well tonight. They had it really close in the second half, and then in the third quarter, of course, ending the quarter with the tie. But Lynbrook, in the end, just too much, just a little too talented. Especially, and we didn't touch on this, but this Palo team has really been pretty devastated by injuries this year. Stephanie Allen, who was a huge part of the team last year, and Hope Crockett, who was a big part of the team last year too, were out for the season with injuries. So, final score here from Palo Alto High School: Lynbrook Vikings 40, Palo Alto Vikings 34. Stick around for the Homestead Mustangs against the Palo Alto Boys Vikings.
Hey, you're not going to want to miss that one. That should be good.
Featuring 2 of the top teams in the Anza division. For Kevin Dukovic, I'm Ethan Cohen from Palo Alto High School. Stick around.